Hello everyone, my name is Ishan and welcome to the Race Monkey. What we have over here today is the most anticipated electric car in India as of today. This is the Tiago EV, something which is going to break sales records all across the country. And that is majorly because of the price point at which Tata has introduced this. This one starts off at 8.49 lakh rupees ex-showroom, and with different government subsidies all across the country in different states, this is going to be something that would keep Tata showrooms extremely busy. Now, there are a lot of quirks and features of this hatchback that we really need to talk about. So let's talk about what's good on the outside and on the inside, and tell you all the economics that would make you understand why an electric vehicle is an excellent choice if you're a person who drives within the city at large. So let's talk about the exterior of the Tiago EV. Now, there are quite a lot of significant changes done to make this look a little different from the regular Tiago, and they look really flamboyant indeed. Now we start off with the face. We have this long blue anodized strip that's running across the front bumper with this gloss black element on the top of it, and we have these Y elements inside it which are pretty reminiscent of the Tiger EV that we have seen last year. Now this color is called the Tropical Mist, which is pretty much similar to the mocktail that you've had at your local bar after drinking too much of alcohol. You were reduced to have that mocktail without the alcohol. So Tropical Mist is what this color is. We have the teal blue and we have the midnight black over here at the showcase, and I really like how quirky Tata has been with the naming of the colors, and they're not really making it a very boring appeal. Now we have these headlamps which again have been taken off from the Tiger. They have the projector system over here which do have the halogen bulb inside them, not the LED bulb, but if you want a better throw and spread, you might want to upgrade to that. We have these LED DRLs over here and this Y element over here as well, which again is reminiscent of the Tiger EV, but with this lighter shade of the car, it does look pretty attractive. Now I like the fit and finish and how things are put together in the Tiago EV. Now these lines on the side and these seams have been very well engineered. The quality of the paint, the fit and finish of everything, the muscle lines, they do look very prominent in this lighter shade, and they do look prominent in darker shades as well. So the designing part of this car really is quite attractive, and it is attracting quite a lot of youth towards this design language. Now coming to the side profile, we have these very smart looking wheel caps, not the alloy wheels but wheel caps even on the top of the line variant, which have these matte finish elements over here, silver elements over here, and gloss black elements over here to make it look very futuristic. And these are pretty much replaceable if you scratch it and you hit the curb, so you don't have to buy the entire alloy wheel. And I think as a cost-effective measure over the longer period of time of your ownership, this would be a great thing. Now we have this .EV badge on the front side fenders on both the sides to signify that this is an electric vehicle indeed. Now coming to the side profile, everything on this car from this side of the view looks exactly how it is in the regular Tiago as well, and there are very small amount of changes that have been done. We have this blacked out gloss element on the door handles. The black taping that goes on between these two windows have been removed, probably to signify that this is an EV, but I really miss that. That just makes the entire look very cohesive, very much on the premium side, but that can be done aftermarket as well and at the dealership level as well. Now coming to the rear end of the car, this is also where the story of the entire design language stays the same. I sometimes do appreciate that brands, especially like Tata, retain their design language so well, be it with their ICE cars or their electric cars. Now here the story is exactly the same. We just have the Tiago EV badge over here under the Tata logo, which differentiates it with the regular Tiago. And we have this small button housing over here with the camera, which is there to open up the boot. Now, everything else, be it the tail lamps, be it the skirts and the bottom, they're very much the same as the regular Tiago. Now, since we are at the back of this car, let me just show you what the inside of the boot looks like. Now, this is a good amount of space if you have to carry around luggage, you have to drop your friends and family to the airport or the railway station. This can accommodate 4 carry-on bags and 2 very large bags quite easily. But the only trouble that I have over here is there is no spare wheel under the boot, which can be a bit of a trouble that you have to carry the spare wheel on top of the trunk. So for short trips, and I'm pretty sure this car would be used in the city at large, this does make quite a lot of sense. Now, done with the exteriors, let's get on the inside and talk to you more about what all has changed over there. So here on the inside of the Tiago EV, things have gone up in the opulence level +1. Now, when I say +1, we have leatherette seats in the Tiago that come as standard. Now, this is the same shade of leatherette that we get with the Nexon EV Max that we recently drove. And they are quite soft. Like, the quality of leatherette is pretty good. Tata has sourced their materials from some really good suppliers. Now, what I don't like much and not a very big fan of are these blue stitchings that run across the sides of the seats, and they look a little out of place. Beige, ivory with blue. I don't know, probably it might be suitable to someone's taste. But it's basically the theme that's going on around the outside and the inside of the car. Now, as we see, there are these blue anodized elements around the AC vents, which do signify that this is an EV. If you make someone sit inside that car and you just blindfold them and open up their eyes when they're inside the car, they would be easily able to identify that they are sitting in an electric vehicle indeed. Now, what has also changed is the screen that's on the front. It is not the black and white MIDI screen. You have a proper color display over here, which tells you your battery percentage, your range, your consumption, and different regeneration and drive modes. So there are quite a lot of things that you can go around with. We've got an 8-inch Harman stereo system that's here as standard. There is a regen mode changer as well. You have anywhere from mode 1 to mode 3, depending on the regeneration braking that you want while you're driving within the city or you're on the highway. We have this knob type selector, which looks very premium and reminiscent of Jaguar cars. Jaguar is a Tata product after all now. And everything feels very ergonomic. We've got 3 cup holders which can accommodate good amount of cups and sizes. We have this little cubby space for the key. We have this, what I call is the jug holder at the back. And the entire visual of everything looks very premium and very good quality. The fit and finish is done in a very, very good way, minus the fit and finish that this Tata is just known for around the glove box. You know, it still is a little offset. Talking about the glove box, it's a decent sized glove box with a cooling system over here, which will allow your beverages to stay cool and your wife to stay cool as well, because you did not spoil her beverages or milk that she ordered for. Now, we have a climate control system over here as well, which is fully automatic, and you get all the information about your AC settings on the screen. We have a day and night mirror over here, and on the steering wheel we have a fully leather wrapped steering, which is very ergonomic to use. It has a flat bottom over here as well. The steering is tilt adjustable. It does not have a telescopic adjustment. And as an add-on feature, which I really like, especially with electric vehicles, it has cruise control. How very smart. Now, cruise control does help the engine and the batteries to use the energy in the most optimum way. And if you get the hang of this, you'll be able to consume the least amount of energy for the maximum amount of distance that can be done. Now, let's go on the back and check out what's changed there. Now, here at the back, things are not much of a change, but because of these leatherette seats, which are pretty soft, the cushioning has gone up a level. Now, this seat is adjusted for a person who's 6 feet in height, and I have decent amount of leg room, and I'm not going to be complaining if someone really tall like Jatin, who's missing from the shoot today, would be sitting over there and driving. Like, I can do hundreds of kilometers without complaining much. The seat back also has a bit of a cushioning, so it is very easy to my elderly knees when I turn 60, that is. And everything over here feels light. There is good amount of glass area, which liberates in quite a good amount of light into the cabin. The interior is any which way of a brighter shade, so it does look very open, very expansive, even though this is a small car, but it looks pretty decent. We've got bottle holders over here. There is a small 12-volt socket which is accessible to the rear passengers, where you can put in your USB charging ports, and everything here looks pretty comfortable, pretty ergonomic. I'm still happy. By the way, I do have a TATA Tiago myself, and I'm really very satisfied. Now, we've talked about the exteriors, we've talked about the interiors. Let's make you understand the core economics of driving an EV in India. So I'm not an economics professor, I'm just an engineering graduate who seems to be reviewing cars for his passion for them. But I'm going to explain you what makes the Tiago EV one of the most sensible hatchbacks or cars to own if you're a city dweller and if you go to your work every day and drive like an absolute lunatic or half the Uber driver. Now, there is a data that I have collected, and this is going to be the best case scenario and the highest number of kilometers that one might be doing in a day. And there is a competition that I have taken up with the Maruti Suzuki car. So let's say the car which coincides with the price tag at which the Tiago EV has been launched, which is 8.5 lakh rupees, you get a Maruti Suzuki Celerio with the automatic gearbox, the shebang, all the bells and whistles, the beautiful alloy wheels, everything. Now that costs 8.5 lakh rupees on road. Now, let's say you're a person who is an architect and you go to different sites to look at what work is getting done, and you drive, give or take, 100 kilometers in a day. With the Suzuki Celerio, which is supposed to be the most fuel efficient petrol car that's available in India right now, you'll be doing somewhere around 14 kilometers to the liter if you're driving around the city or on the outskirts for a bit. Now, if you're doing 14 kilometers to the liter, considering it's 100 rupees per liter of fuel at an average, the average taken for pan-India situation, you're doing somewhere around 700 rupees of expenditure every single day just on fuel, which is going to be somewhere around 2,10,000 rupees per year, which also ends up you spending 21 lakh rupees for the next 10 years if you choose to own this Celerio for the next 10 years. So 21 lakh rupees just on fuel. Add to that the service costs, and we all know Maruti's service cost is nothing. So let's add 2 lakh rupees in service costs, the tires, the oil, the brake pads and everything. It will cost you 2 lakh rupees in the next 10 years. That totals up to 23 lakh rupees just in the running cost of the Celerio. Now, if you add on the price of the car that you purchase, the ownership cost over the period of 10 years for the Celerio is going to be 31 lakh 50,000 rupees. Now that might look quite a steep number, but if you do the economics, that's what it's coming out to be. Now, if we compare the Celerio with the Tiago EV in terms of the ownership cost, this one starting point costs 8.5 lakh rupees. We're not adding off the government subsidies because they are dependent on different states and their policies. But let's just take the standard price of 8.5 lakh rupees. You get 7 rupees per kilowatt as the average price for the energy consumption that you do with the electricity. For every kilowatt of energy that you consume, this car at the average, I'm not talking about the best case scenario, at an average, runs for about 6 kilometers. That makes you spending approximately 116, 115 rupees per day on the energy if you're doing 100 kilometers per day. That means you'll be spending 35,000 rupees every year just on energy, as compared to 2,10,000 rupees every year on petrol that we'll be burning with the Celerio. That means 3,50,000 rupees for 10 years, which is incredible value if you ask me. 3,50,000 rupees for the next 10 years. Let's add on the service costs, the change of the tires, the different components, the brake pads and everything. That would give or take cost around a lakh at max. So we are looking at spending 13 lakh rupees as the ownership cost of the Tiago EV, which is about 18 lakh rupees cheaper than the Celerio over the period of 10 years. Now that is an impressive number because that gives you access to buying something like the Grand Vitara 4x4 that you can use for your family outings. Now, that is something that you should really consider as a fact when you're going for an EV. It's not just the higher cost that you might get attested by, but if you do the entire economics over the 10 years of ownership, the electric vehicle does make a lot of sense, and the Tiago EV is just too good at that. So the Tiago EV looks like an incredible package for the Indian perspective and the Indian consumer. This has been prized to play the monopoly game for Tata Motors in the electric vehicle segment. Now, the way it looks, the color schemes that Tata has chosen for this car, the quirks and features on the interior and on the exterior really make it a very attractive proposition. Now, the prices are introductory and are for the first 10,000 customers. Tata has also made sure that the existing 2,000 customers of cars like the Tigor and the Nexon EV get the preference of this price tag that is introductory. Now, the car would be delivered next year in the month of January, and there is quite a long waiting list already, as I see at all the dealerships. So if you want yours, you must go there right now. And honestly speaking, just by the walk around, it does look very, very attractive indeed. Now, I can't wait to take this out on trips and just generally take it around city drives, because every penny saved is every penny earned. That's it for now. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do subscribe to our Instagram updates as well. And the links are given in the description below. Thank you for tuning in, and do not forget to wear your seatbelts, even when you're sitting at the back, because पीछे बैठना और seat belt लगाना should not be a मजबूरी. वो है ज़रूरी. Bye guys, stay safe. Cheers.